everything. This is like our first go at our new layout too.
Yep. Yeah, hopefully we have sound.
I think we do. I see the sound bars dancing.
All right, I'll take a listen. Oh, I hear us talking. Well, I heard me talking.
It'd be nice if that automatically transitioned. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Darcy.
Good morning, Jeff.
The person's not very animated today.
No, I know. My stupid mouth doesn't work. I mean,
that's so funny.
It's like part of the best part about this guy was he was silly, and now he's just
plain. He's normal. I gave you the bear disease.
You did. It's contagious. But my eyes are wonky, so there is that. I still have that going for me. I like your new guy.
Yeah. I don't know if his upper face has enough expression. So your lower face doesn't have enough expression, and my upper face doesn't. So if we combine together, let's lean together really close, and we could get. Nope, didn't work. Oh, I'm already. Oh no, not cool. So yeah, I guess we'll just have to suffer through it.
Yep.
Good morning, Patricia.
Good morning, Patricia.
All right, so we're rolling a little bit of a new layout today, and we're going to try some new things with our positioning, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Let us know if you like it, don't like it, if it's still improving, if it's even better than the last time, because our last changes we're just showing the pictures now, and if you want to read the articles, you can go to the YouTube video, and we'll have all the links there. So you should be able to do that. If you find videos without it, I've gotten most of them. I think some of the earlier videos still don't. But the really early ones, we didn't even track the links.
No, we're just like, let's do this one.
we were.
And then moved on.
Yep. And never saw him again. And that was it.
Yep, that was it. One and done.
And then we got into chaptering and everything. So
I know you're getting so fancy.
Well,
I don't want to take any credit.
Soon, our next initiative is we're going to try to allow the audience to do sound effects and or visual effects.
Ooh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Fancy channels have it. And then, oh my gosh. Okay, so here's something Link was telling me the other day. Yesterday. Yeah. They have a somebody's running a channel where the subscribers, how do you say it works? The subscribers all have like little animated characters. And I told them to send me the link to this, okay? Yeah. So think of like little bit characters, like just little simple pixelated pixel characters running around, like old school, super old video games. And what he does is I forget how he does it. He rewards people, like if people donate, and it's a total like, but it's awesome. It really is. So if people donate, they get, how does it work? They boost up.
Story's awesome.
Yeah, I know this story is horrible. Well, because I know what the end is, but the middle, like, how do they get to it? So they must donate to be able to go on a quest. Because I was like, how does everybody get to go on the quest? But the quest might just be part of it. So like once a week, he takes everybody on like a little quest, and you get to use your character, right? That was the point of building that up. And then the more people donate when they're fighting the boss, so they'll have like a boss fight, and they'll have like a little dungeon crawl thing that they all go in on an adventure. A little video, basically they all play a video game.
Mhm.
And it's not the stream. That's not the point of the stream. This is a reward to the subscribers. And so then when you go into the fight, the when people donate like whatever, because you can probably buy bits or some sort of currency, we'll just call it a digital currency. And when you spend X amount, you'll be able to do a move on the boss. Okay. And so then everybody, when they defeat the boss, then you get a reward, and everybody gets like little outfits and stuff like that. And so then you can decorate your person. Yeah, it's just kind of like not only when you're watching, you get to go on an adventure with all the other subscribers. I know for the non-video gamers, it might not seem too exciting, but that's pretty cool.
Well,
Um,
that's still fun, you know.
mhm.
I
It was
like that.
interesting to go on a little adventure. So I was like, oh, that'd be so cool. But we're gonna try to incorporate sound effects and some like graphic effects. If like you could give thumbs up across articles or I don't know. We don't know yet.
Yeah,
But
I
uh,
like it. I'm in.
and it's easier on Twitch, but Twitch makes you buy their currency, which are bits, and then you can spend those bits to do effects, and then like a percentage of the money comes back to the people. And I was trying to figure out a way to do it for free that we could just hand out, to people that tune in, because it's not like we have too many subscribers, but
Yeah,
even if we did have more subscribers, just to give people the ability to be able to do it. But the
yeah, and
reason,
interact. I like it.
yeah, but the reason that you do the currency is so that people get a fair share to interact. If it was unlimited,
Mm.
you could get spammed, right?
Yeah,
So that you could save up your thing for one article per show or something like, and we'd give people free for just tuning in and stuff like that. I don't know.
yeah, we'll
It
have
was
to
just a
check it
thought,
out.
but a way to interact is the whole thing. All right, let's get into it. We have. Wait. Oh, I was already on it here. I gotta coordinate my hands.
Aw,
This
little
cutie
cutie.
here.
She's smiling. Yep,
It is a mole queen.
yep, a naked mole rat queen.
Queen. The naked mole rat queen is dead. Long live the naked mole rat queen. That is an
Aw,
interesting opening line.
yep.
The naked mole rat queen is dead. Long live the naked mole rat queen. On Tuesday, DCist reported that a long political drama at the Smithsonian Zoo had finally come to close. Its naked mole rat colony had settled on a new queen, and long may she reign.
Aw.
Here are a few shocking facts about the species to celebrate her auspicious and vicious ascent to the throne. There can only be one queen. Okay.
I mean, it's like Highlander. There can be only one.
Adults live in groups. Oh, wow, that was weird. Live in groups and care for their young cooperatively, and only certain individuals get the privilege of producing those young. Ants and bees are more famous examples, and the behavior is mostly seen among insects. There are only there are only two minimal species considered truly eusocial, and both species are of mole rat.
Oh,
So yes, queen bee style, the most dominant mole rat ladies fight off competitors for the right to bear their colony's young, while everyone else does the actual child rearing, by, well, breeding as fast as possible.
that's rough. I don't think I would want to be
The
a mole
queen.
rat queen.
Yeah. I'm just gonna be over
Like,
here raising all your kids.
yeah, I'll be the fun ant.
The fun ant. I'll take the first 5. Somebody else can have the other 300.
Yeah, right?
At the National Zoo, the struggle brought the adult brood down from 17 to 13 over the course of a few months. Yeah, they've been fighting and killing each other. They have mole rat wars to determine who's going to be queen. Wait, I gotta put this in. Yeah, they've been fighting and killing each other. Zookeeper Kenton Carnes told DCS. I had to put that in there.
Yeah.
Somebody's saying they have mole rat wars to determine who's going to be queen or who's going to breed with the queen. We're hoping things will calm down a bit now. There was only 17 of them.
Holy smokes.
So this war killed off almost a quarter of the population.
That's rough. Just so you can...
So you can kick out a couple more. You gotta make sure that there's not too many people that like want to take you out like too quickly before you have a chance to breed or whatever.
Yeah, right? I don't know. Again, I'd rather just be the fun ant. But I wonder if the other females, whether they want to be queen or not, end up getting killed off just in case.
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know.
let's just
case.
eliminate the competition.
Yeah. No, please.
In case you get any ideas.
So non-breeding females in a colony are actually infertile with sexual organs that appear prepubescent. As soon as one of these ladies is shipped out on her own, she has a growth spurt and shows signs of sexual maturity as she perhaps prepares to stake her own claim as baby-making queen. So as long as you don't come out of puberty, you're good to go. Yeah. They'll be like, they won't see you as a threat. They'll kill in cold blood.
Be a kid forever.
They're the only mammals whose bodies can't regulate a steady internal temperature. So they gotta huddle together. That's why you see them snuggle around until they go to kill each other.
That's hilarious. They're either killing each other or snuggling.
They can hold their breath for 15 minutes.
What? Weird.
They can survive at oxygen levels that would be fatal to humans. Okay, their squirmy subjects display signs of distress within 15 minutes, but an hour. Okay, I read that wrong. I tried to just read the highlights. So they can survive at low levels of oxygen. They look distressed for about 15 minutes, and then they're just like, whatever.
They're like, well, I guess we're used to this now. Yeah, it says after 5 hours, we were convinced that 5% oxygen is not a problem for these guys, so we decided to call it a night, go home, and have dinner. We're like, we only tortured them for 5 hours. Oh,
after 5 minutes in a container with zero oxygen, the animals passed out, but were back to normal a few seconds after release. They're like, all right, we're just going to pretend die until you give us some air. You can't hurt them.
That's so weird.
Oh, so they tried to burn them with acid. Oh, wow, this got sad. They're really freaky looking. Oh, yeah, we'll go to our next picture. We got a better picture. They're ready to go. Fight stance. They don't eat nachos.
What?
They do eat their own poop. What? There's nothing to back up that they don't eat nachos.
I was just going to say the same thing. Why would you even say it? Lots of animals don't eat nachos. And just move on.
All right.
I did eat nachos for lunch the other day.
Ooh, I haven't had nachos delicious. In a few days.
In a few days?
Yeah, like a week or two. There's a chicken nachos from this one place that's really good.
Nice. And I just had some chips and cheese and salsa and sour cream. That's why I called it nachos.
Now this one's like goes all out.
Look at this guy. Is that the body in the front? I mean, the head? I just thought the whole thing was a. Oh, I get it. I thought the I thought it was like a larva or whatever. I'm realizing now that there's a little legs and stuff and head in the front.
Yeah, I thought.
I'm not as mad
Yeah,
as
that
my
that's
my
the
anime.
back end.
Yeah,
Huh.
gross.
Okay. So I'm gonna go with I thought she might have like let it go and then just drug around the sack, maintaining it. But nope. I'm guessing it's attached. That's part of the body.
Yeah,
So if you don't know
he
yet,
has a.
that's a queen termite. If you see one of those, it's usually you just want to step on
Yeah,
it.
I wouldn't. Though it looks huge. I'd probably cry.
Every year, termites inflict around $5 billion in property damage. Sneaking
Yep.
into your home can cost you thousands in treatments and damage repairs. What are termite queens? The queen controls the colony size, makeup, and division of labor of a termite colony. She is also the primary egg layer in termite colonies. I'm just having trouble reading today.
I think you're doing an excellent job.
You can go.
Maybe it's your button eyes.
Is the queen the only egg layer? Queen termites can actually suppress the development of other queens with pheromones that are always associated with their presence. When the colony gets larger, she may need to allow a small number of termite nymphs to develop as supplemental or secondary queens.
Those repairs could cost those homeowners thousands of dollars, unless, of course, they have a sewer line protection plan from HomeServe.
I got an ad
Those
pop up.
repairs could
Oh,
cost
where's
those
this ad
homeowners
coming from?
thousands of dollars, unless, of course, they have a sewer line protection plan from HomeServe.
Sorry. There's an ad
Those
that's
repairs could cost
just
those
running in
homeowners
circles in my
thousands of dollars,
headphones. It's
unless, of
horrible.
course, they have a sewer
Aw,
line protection plan from HomeServe.
that's funny. I was like, what are you
I
talking
gotta find
about?
it. It's something about sewer line protection plans cost people thousands. I gotta take a second to find where this is circling at. And of course, I can't find the tab. Wonderful. What is the egg laying process? Her abdomen eventually expands many times beyond regular size to the point she becomes much less mobile and must be cared for. She becomes an egg-laying machine and becomes physically dependent on the worker termites for her care and feeding. So, yep, that's part of her body.
Gross. Poor thing.
This is all her friends.
Yep, taking care of her, moving her around.
Yep. They don't move much. How do termite colonies spread? After 3 to 5 years, the queen may decide to allow many of the nymphs to develop winged reproductive adult termites. To develop in what? So they can develop into winged ones all of a sudden. She's like, yeah, you can do that now. Go get your wings. And who will swarm out of the nest to start a new colony. But they're not allowed to till she says that her colony's to size and everything's ready to go. Several hundred to several thousand will swarm from the nest, but most will not succeed. After swarming, a male and a female worker will pair up, and soon to be termite queen will look for a place to make a nest. How do you stop them? Step on them.
Eat them?
They say keep an eye out for termites and or termite damage. That's it. And then call a professional.
Yeah. I've seen some. I mean, because down here there's lots of termites. It's pretty common, and so yeah, you got to be careful when you start seeing a lot of termites flying around. You need to make sure you call your whoever it is that you go to and have them
Those
come out,
repairs
because
could
yeah,
cost those homeowners
that's
thousands
always
of
bad.
dollars.
That's a bad
Unless,
sign.
of course, they have a sewer line protection plan from HomeServe.
I don't know where that's coming.
Those repairs
Oh,
could
I
cost
found it.
those homeowners thousands of dollars. Unless, of course, they have a sewer line protection plan from Home.
Yes, I got it.
Yay.
So, those that don't know, when there's sound running from one of your tabs, it lights up with a little speaker. And then you can right click on your tab and mute it. How often do you have to spray in Florida?
When we owned our own house, we had them come out. They put we didn't have any termites in our house. They did find some like old termite damage in our shed. So they put like the pods around, and then we had some cement, the driveway, and that's where the shed was. And so they, drilled into the driveway, and then they would come out, I don't know, like once a month or once every couple months to spray. And then they would fill these pods that were in the ground all around our house, like a couple times a year, I think. So, but yeah, I mean, when I lived in Arizona, we got them, and they had to come out and like drill holes. It was really bad. We had like their little tunnels or whatever coming out of our ceiling. It's so much fun being a renter. And they came and they had to like drill holes all around the base of the house on the outside. It can get really expensive if you don't keep up on it.
Well, yeah, pretty involved. I think I moved into a house that had already had that done.
Yeah.
Drilling holes into the house, but they put stuff in it, so it's good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's expensive if they have to do that. You're spending a lot of dollars, but we yeah, we've already decided at the next place we're immediately getting all that stuff put in, so we'll just start protecting it right from day one, hopefully. But it
Cool.
also helps with the ants and other bugs too, so.
Ants. Well, that's what we have now. We have a queen ant. Ants tend to get lost in the shuffle because termites take all their glory.
Yep.
After all, they live in large colonies that can number in the millions. So when you see that little pile, there's a lot more somewhere else.
Oh my gosh. So many ants.
Yeah, there are a lot of ants and a lot of birds. Each colony can be divided up into 3 different groups. There are workers, the males, and the queen. Queen ants are, without a doubt, the most important ant in the colony. It is impossible not to notice their efforts, since colonies usually only have one. Fun facts about queen ants. They're usually larger and thicker than all the other ants. You can identify a queen ant by watching how much attention she receives. Sounds about right.
Right. They're like, she's the superstar. She's a celebrity.
While her sole purpose is to lay eggs, she has a large group of servants to keep her fed and clean. Though they are called queens, these ants do not tell all of the other ants in the colony what to do. Their job is instead to lay as many eggs as they possibly can. Of all the different ants in the ant colony, the queen will usually live the longest. They have been recorded to live up to 30 years.
Holy smokes. I didn't know insects could live that long.
That is a fact I've never heard.
Yeah,
ever.
Me neither.
Yeah, I agree exactly with what you just said.
Weird.
A queen ant can lay thousands of eggs in a single day. Their queen ants are the only type of ants to be born with wings, though they do not fly though they do not fly all that often and will eventually shed them. Some species of ants have more than one queen. This allows them to grow the size of the colony much more quickly than a colony with only one.
We learned something new today.
That one is actually a really out of left. I never considered age. I would have guessed that ants lived maybe a few years, 3 to 5. I would have put them in that range until now.
I
Now I'm
would have thought
fascinated.
like months. Yeah, I'm gonna look up and see.
Well, no. Let's do a whole show. Make a note. We're gonna do a whole show. Yeah. You can do regular ants, but let's do a whole show about how long insects live.
Okay.
That'd be cool. Yeah. How long do ants live in general? I'd be curious.
Oh, okay.
6 facts about elephant families. Ooh. Let's see how we look over here. We'll switch back.
Black garden ant, it says 4 years. A pharaoh ant is 4 to 12 months.
Okay.
So
the queens are the
sounds
really.
like the range.
Oh, look what we got here. Do you see this article? Do you got more?
Huh?
On our elephant article. Do you have more than the females are the boss?
Yeah, there's more.
I don't.
Oh, so I guess I'll read it.
Oh man, I get to sit back.
Sit back and relax.
Funny faces.
Yep. Females are the boss. Elephant families have. Uh-oh. Can you still see me?
Yeah.
Okay. Elephant families have a matriarchal head, meaning that an older, experienced lady elephant leads the herd. Oh, I like that it's a lady. That sounds so fancy. A family usually consists of a mother, her sisters, daughters, their babies. Occasionally, non-related elephants join to form families. Female family units range from 3 to 25 elephants. Sometimes a herd of elephants combine with groups of bull elephants to form larger clans. Herd aggregations of 500 to 1,000 elephants have been recorded around watering holes. That is a lot. Elephants are huge. Could you imagine seeing 1,000?
Yeah.
They babysit. Female elephants, known as cows, help each other look after each other's calves. Babysitting other female calves is important for elephant development. Young females learn how to look after the young, and the calves have shown how it's done. Oh, and the calves are shown how it's done. The survival rate of calf greatly increases when more females are present and willing to take care of it. They bond. Elephants are known to develop strong, intimate bonds between friends and family members, forming lifelong friendships with each other, and even mourn the death of their loved ones. They walk in a single file. Disney wasn't lying in the Jungle Book. Elephants actually do walk in a single file when they're on the move. For instance, while in search of food or water. And the calves will sometimes hold on to their mother's tails with their trunks to keep up. Guys hang around in groups too. Adult male elephants live in predominantly nomadic and solitary lives. When a male elephant bull reaches puberty, around 12 to 15 years of age, he will gradually become more independent of his family until he breaks away completely to either roam alone or find a loosely knit group of male elephants to join. That sounds like us. And herds can separate, although they tend to be close. An elephant family can split. This decision is influenced by ecological factors such as availability of food and water in the area, and social factors such as how well the elephants get on, the size of the group, or the death of the matriarch. As such, different herds living other vast terrain can be different herds living over vast terrain can be interrelated. These bond groups keep in touch with each other through rumbling calls and usually stay within a mile of each other.
Rumbling calls is that stomping on the ground and rumble in the ground.
I was shaking, and my little animes didn't pick it up.
I did that with my dance.
Oh, there you go. The elephant dance.
Yeah. The elephant dance.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I was
So there
trying to
you
do a
go.
clap for you.
I don't know. Keep just doing the chicken dance.
But look at this. I got 2 waves. I got a high wave and a low
And a
wave.
thumbs up.
Well, the thumbs. I'm just talking about 2 wave buttons. Do I got any other button? Oh, whoa! I just found a new dance move. I got 2 dance moves?
I guess so.
Oh my gosh.
The Cabbage Patch.
Yep.
That's awesome.
That means, okay, so that was like Y. So dance moves are T, Y, U, and I.
Oh man, I had this all set up and now it's not working right. Oh well.
Okay, so we're gonna take a break. And up next we have some badass queens from history.
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh yeah, these women, you don't want to cross them.
Nope.
Just like
Nope.
your wife.
They're badasses. Yep.
All right, we'll be back in a few.
Yep.
I'll turn the music back on. Oh, I wanted to fix something, so I'll fix something real quick.
Hello.
Hello?
I'm back. It took a long time. Sorry.
I was trying to make you a little bigger.
Oh. So you can see my angry eyebrows.
Just so you're proportionally the same size as the little guy. What's your dance moves? Let's see your dance moves. So
I don't
T,
know. Let me see.
Y, U, and I.
Is it Control T or
No,
just
just
T?
as long
Oh,
as you got
there's T.
animes. Oh, okay. So yeah.
What is it? I'm gonna write it down.
T, Y, U, and, and I.
You okay?
Huh?
That
I
was
was choking on
you.
water. That was you?
Not Y. For some reason, I only have this. Nothing else works.
They didn't make.
Oh,
And then
Q.
a wave. And then the
Oh, I have
shrug.
Q, E,
Yeah.
and R, and T. That's so bad. I don't get it. And my eyes are wonky.
Well, if anybody
I'm
feels
just
like making.
pressing all the buttons.
You're pushing all the buttons. If anybody feels like making Darcy an anime's character, we'd welcome it. Or dance moves for her eggplant. Animes.
Yeah, like, man, whatevs.
Alright, where are we at? We are here with these right here.
Oh yeah, badass queens.
This is Empress Matilda.
1102 to 1167. That was a long time ago.
Where do you have that
Right above her name, where it says Empress Matilda.
at?
And then it says the
I was just like, wow, where'd you pull that from? Because I'm only seeing 111 or 1114.
That's
Cool.
funny. Yep.
So what do you think she did?
I think she was a lady between 1102 to 1167. That seems like a dangerous time.
Despite a huge amount of resistance to the idea of a woman sitting on the English throne.
I was close.
Yeah. Empress Matilda was a famously feisty monarch willing to put England through nearly a decade of bloody civil war in her attempt to claim her right to the crown. Okay.
That feels weird, like a weird sentence. I mean, didn't like a lot of kings do the same thing? They're like, I'm willing to put my country through a civil war so that I can be king. I feel like that was probably a thing that has happened. Anyways, continue. Sorry.
Nope. That was, yeah, you're right. But it's only because she probably wasn't allowed, right? Because of her
Yeah.
brother, but she was probably firstborn, which, that's pretty much the rule, firstborn, but it's firstborn male. And no, it should be firstborn, right? I guess, if you're going to have to do it that way. Unless you're going to fight to the death, like she did. And she was daughter of Henry the First of England and married future Holy Roman Emperor Henry the Fifth. And by her early teens, was already one of the most powerful women in Europe. After the death of her brother, Prince William, the line of succession. Okay, so she wasn't firstborn, secondborn. So she even knew her place. And then she was like, no, it's my turn.
Yep.
But Henry wasn't keen to pronounce his daughter as the heir. Henry remarried in the hopes of fathering a legit. No, he did her dirty.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, so her dad was like, no, you can't be queen. And went to go marry somebody else to try to make a son. And the marriage ended childless with no male heir in the running. And he was finally forced to pronounce her as the next in line to the throne.
This sentence that you skipped, though, is hilarious. None of his 25 or so illegitimate children were eligible. I like that you skipped the part that he had 25 illegitimate sons.
I a lot of
When it
times skip stuff like that, but yeah, it was actually really good. It was,
I like that. I mean, I know why you skipped it, but it was still funny.
Yeah.
Try and pull that out.
Yeah, that's what you're here for, to pull out what I skip.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, that wasn't, you read the boring part. The really juicy part of this was she had 25 children and wasn't able to get one to the throne.
Yeah, just his daughter. He's like, fine.
So, after Henry's death, a short coup led to Matilda's cousin, Stephen of Blios, being crowned instead. And then that's what started the big war, and we all know who won. Interesting. Next up, we got Eleanor of Antiquity. Is that how that is? Antiquity?
I think so. That feels right. Yep. 1122
I gotta
to
switch pictures.
1204.
Yep. There she is.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, I like her starting sentence. Eleanor was a badass queen twice over.
Yep.
First.
Not once, but twice.
Unless she got fired the first time.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't promote that.
Okay.
First as Queen of France, and then as Queen of England.
Whoa.
Her father, William X, died in 1137. That seemed really close to the last lady. 1135? I'm not sure how this works, but okay. Eleanor, so her dad died. She inherited the titles, lands, and enormous wealth at just 15. Suddenly, one of France's most eligible bachelorettes. Sorry, we just stated how old she was, and then she's an eligible bachelorette.
Yeah.
She married Louis's son of the French king, and not long after became Queen of France, still in her teens. Famously fierce and tenacious, Eleanor exerted considerable influence over Louis and accompanied him on the Second Crusade. Oh, crap.
Wow.
After their marriage was annulled in 1152, she stayed single for just 2 months before marrying the heir to the English throne.
There you go. I'm ready to be queen again.
She knows who to hook up with, yeah.
Yeah. Well, she's got a pretty good resume.
That's what I'm saying. She's like the queen. Who's famous and also like I don't know if it's an unfortunate thing because she has changed, but like the Kim Kardashian of that world. But who in our time carries prestige? Because I mean, I think part of the initial digs on Kim is how she kind of got her start, right? And after that, she's been famously, like brilliant in business and stuff like that, and marketing and how to market herself, her family. Her mom helps obviously, but it's like when you think of somebody that's super accomplished, super famous, and super eligible bachelorette that wields power in today's world, right? Because she does. She wields power. Who else besides Kim would you go to? Oprah used to be that name.
Yeah. Beyonce?
Oh, yeah. Queen Bee. Yep, there you go. Is she more powerful than Kim? That's interesting.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's who this lady reminds me of.
I don't want to say one way or the other.
Yeah, they're probably tied. And because it's different areas that they wield their power, right?
Yeah. Well, and Rihanna's getting up there now. I mean, just because they all do different things. It's not just the one thing that they're most famous for, but they also have like clothing,
that's my point.
clothing and makeup and all these other things. They
everything.
Make an insane amount of money doing all kinds of different things. Yeah.
And that's why I give her and you're right, Beyonce, Rihanna, any of those that just crush it in the brands and the marketing and just like have their hands at all kinds of stuff. So that's what this lady reminded me of. And so then she got to be queen. of another country. That's actually a pretty cool feat. Next up,
Yeah.
we got Queen. I'm trying to watch the time, so we at least got a half hour for our main lady. Queen Isabella of France. Queen of England was wife of Edward II and also known as She-Wolf of France.
That's a pretty sweet name.
Been
No wonder she
frequently
made it into the badass list.
She's been frequently depicted and described as a kind of original female fatale.
Femme fatale.
Femme fatale, yeah, sorry. Femme fatale. A beautiful and intelligent but ruthlessly cruel badass queen. What'd she do? Actually worked hard to toe the line to resolve controversies caused by her husband's odd behavior. Uh-oh. And very,
Yeah.
very intimate relationship with his favorite. Yeah, whatever. We don't care about this husband. Even after it was captured and executed, Isabella worked tirelessly to navigate diplomatic fallout between Edward and his revolting nobles. The situation worsened when Isabella refused to swear loyalty to some other family, which Edward retaliated by seizing her English lands and their 4 children. This is, I guess, her husband, who was placed in the care of the dispensers. At that point, she snapped. She's like, no, we're cool. You can talk trash, you can do all this other crap, but you just came and took my kids.
Yeah, Mama Bear.
And when you wield an army,
Yeah.
in France, she began an affair with a powerful English nobleman. Okay, so she's like, I'm gonna go get this powerful dude with whom she plotted against this other family, and her despised husband arriving back in England with a small army. She swept through the country, gathering support, closing on Edward and Hugh, and eventually arresting them, forcing Edward to abdicate, making him the first English monarch to do so. And now she
That's
took her
awesome.
revenge, horrifically executed him. Oh, not him. This other dude, Hugh, whoever. Oh, that head of that other
The
family.
dispenser. Yeah.
Yeah. And executed in front of her. She had him executed in front of her. Following a year, Edward died imprisoned and is still hotly disputed whether Isabella had her husband murdered. Yeah, she probably did. She got tired of listening to him cry.
Yeah, she's like, you hurt my kids. You get to suffer for a year and now you can go. I like it.
And then her son resented her and her husband. Her son from probably the Edward guy, right? Because he's Edward the Third. And then she didn't like stepdad. He didn't like stepdad. And so then he had a coup against Roger and had him executed. She was removed from court. And okay, so he didn't kill his mom.
No.
Cool. That's fair. Because depending on what, there's probably a lot more drama that they're not talking about. So I'm not going to
she became a nun.
Oh.
She's like, I've done enough. I'll just be a nun now.
That's a good end. Yep. Margaret of Anjou? Anjou?
Sure. I don't know. I don't know how you would say that. I think both ways seem right to me.
So
but what do I know?
Shakespeare wrote about her.
Oh.
He has really done a number on Margaret's cultural legacy, depicting her as a terrifying and cruel wrinkled witch in Richard III. But she was really much more badly behaved than men. Was she really much more badly behaved than men around her? She married another Henry. Lots of Henrys in the line.
Yeah,
of
lots
England.
and lots of Henry.
Yeah, let's see. Unlike her timid husband, Margaret was ambitious and confrontational. It didn't help that at times Henry struggled with serious mental health challenges, during which Margaret would essentially rule in his place. This upset preferred dominant passive relationship dynamic of a traditional medieval royal couple and made her a controversial figure. She had another enemy named Richard, who said he was supposed to be on the throne. Um, she was front and center. Much of the action, despite some early success on the battlefield, a crushing defeat disposed Henry and Richard's eldest son, declaring himself king. Wait. Richard's eldest son, Edward, declaring himself king. Uh-oh. We might have some overlaps here.
Yeah.
Are we going chronologically? Yeah, we kind of are. It's kind of funny. There was like 100 years in between this one and the last one. But despite her army being defeated and her husband imprisoned, Margaret was still determined to win back the crown for her husband and only son. She traveled to France, made an alliance with former supporters, and arranged for a fresh attack. Who was successfully deposed. Her husband was briefly restored to the throne, but at this point was totally unfit to rule. Yeah, because he was in prison for a while.
Yeah.
Margaret was forced to lead her own army into the Battle of Tewkesbury. I think I've heard of that. In 1471, which her son was killed and her forces decisively defeated. And Edward retook the throne. Margaret was imprisoned alongside her husband. Oh, man. That one didn't end well for her.
No. I wonder, is he the one that, oh no. I was thinking there's that movie that came out in the 90s, I think, or early 2000s, The Madness of King George. And I loved that movie for some reason when I was a kid. Anyways, he was a nutty. I was just wondering if that was her husband. Because I think it's similar thing happened then. But I guess when you marry your siblings and other family members, eventually you probably have a lot of kings that aren't doing so well. And the old noggin. Anyway.
Yep. All right, next up we got Elizabeth Woodville. Widowed and mother, and you can do the date if you want.
Oh yeah. 1437 to 1492.
And widowed and mother of two at the age of around 20. Oh, at least we got an adult here.
Yeah.
Around the age of 24, Woodville's early life had not gone smoothly. Her husband died in battle, and her inheritance was taken away from her, left with no fortune, but for her sharp mind and beautiful face. Elizabeth is said to have sought out King Edward, what is that, the fourth, for help.
Mm-hmm.
He promptly fell in love with the beautiful widow, and then when she refused to become his mistress unless he put a ring on it, the couple secretly married.
Good for you. Yeah,
However, it wasn't long before that's what inspired Beyonce's song.
Yeah.
Before long, the union was revealed and there was an uproar. Woodville was a commoner. Blah, blah, blah. Typical story. See, one of the most powerful peers in the land. The couple, despite rumors of witchcraft and contempt of one of the most powerful peers, the couple was happy until an unrelenting wars of the roses became between them. Edward was forced to flee, and Woodward, heavily pregnant with her sixth child, was stranded with the other five at the Tower of London. In the middle of the night, she fled with her family and her mother in tow for Westminster Abbey to claim sanctuary. A month later, she gave birth while in sanctuary to the future Edward V.
Mm-hmm.
And after a decade of further battles followed by relative peace, Elizabeth's husband, King Edward, died of pneumonia. Her young son, Edward, would succeed the throne, but not for long, for Edward and his brother, Richard, suspiciously disappeared while staying at the Tower of London. This is where we just read this part of the story. It's like, these are intertwining, but the dates are not lining up, like they're after each other. So then, is this like at the ends of their lives when this, like, they overlap? I don't know.
I think there's just a lot of Edwards and Richards, and it's very confusing. And Henrys too.
To take her revenge, she joined forces with a powerful Margaret Balefort, but we don't know that one. We haven't heard that. Balefort. And arranged Margaret, but we've heard of Margaret already. Yeah. Margaret's son, Henry Tudor, to move to claim the throne of Mary Woodville's daughter, Elizabeth of York, uniting the two houses. The plan was successful, and her titles were restored and retired to an abbey. All right.
Okay.
That lady was a hustler.
Timeline. Yeah, she was. Good for her. Yeah.
You need a timeline of where these. Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah.
I think a
Or
professional
like
podcast would do that.
Yeah. But
The
well.
family tree? Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah.
That would be crazy.
Yeah.
Crisscross
I
applesauce.
think the family tree might be way more confusing. So yeah, a timeline would just be so we could see where things overlap.
All right, we're going to skip this other lady, unless she really had something. Probably same old story. And we're going to get to Elizabeth the First. Elizabeth the First is not a queen forgotten. She reigned for 45 years and is well remembered for her defeat of the Spanish Armada, her progresses, her economic policies, and her patronage of the arts, as well as her virginity. Her life didn't start well. A lot of people died.
Yeah.
Deemed illegitimate. And then under the reign of a devout Catholic, Sister Mary, Elizabeth became the focus of a Protestant rebellion. She was arrested and sent to the Tower of London. Wow, we've had a lot of people go to the Tower of London.
It's a popular place.
Indeed, Queen Elizabeth promptly expressed her support for the Protestant Church, and yet her reign is celebrating for bringing relative religious stability to the country. I don't think the Catholic Church likes that.
Mm-mm.
She adopted a policy to not make widows into men's souls.
Windows. I know it's funny because the first time I read it, I read widows also, and I was like, that makes zero sense. And so I read it again.
Which allows for a margin of freedom beyond that of the monarchs before her. Her astute appointment of ministers and officials with careful housekeeping also led to a period of relative economic stability, which in turn allowed for the arts to flourish at the time. Cool. She attended Shakespeare's stuff. All right. We're going to take a break, and then our main lady is up. Oh, wait, we didn't get our picture of this last lady, so we'll leave her up.
Oh, yeah. I think that's a good Elizabeth the First before we move on to Elizabeth the Second.
There wasn't too many Elizabeths. A lot of Margarets. Nope. Not too many Elizabeths.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back in a sec.
Yep.
Okay, chat's pretty quiet today. Are you back? I don't hear you. Okay, I saw your mouth moving.
It's because I took a bite of a granola bar.
Aww.
I was hungry.
No, that's on the picture.
Oh.
We have Queen Elizabeth II was born at 2:40 a.m. on the 21st of April in 1926. That's a fun fact. I mean, her birthday. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
To the parents, the Duke and Duchess of York, who later became King George VI and Queen
Mm-hmm.
Elizabeth, the Queen Mother. She was crowned. We're looking for extra cool ones because we have a lot of different facts.
All
She
kinds
was
of
the
fun.
longest. Oh, yeah. I'm going to have to click through pictures. She was the longest reigning monarch ever in Britain. We know that one. As
Mm-hmm.
queen, she was served by 15 UK prime ministers.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
But I guess in 70 years, maybe not that many.
Her favorite dogs were corgis.
Yeah. That feels right. I feel like they were always around her.
I didn't know this. She was the only person in the UK allowed to drive without a license.
That's awesome. Well, I guess everybody knows who she is. I mean, you'd be in big trouble if you actually pulled her over. I have a feeling. Like,
The motorcade. She had 2 birthdays.
Mm-hmm.
Her official birthday, and then one that was held on a Saturday in June when weather's better.
That's hilarious. That feels right. Being from a rainy place, having your birthday in April isn't always the funnest time.
Her birthplace is now a fancy Cantonese restaurant.
That's hilarious. Whoa.
Yeah, I was trying to read both because I was like, wait, what? So Queen Elizabeth II first sent an email in 1976 and published her first Instagram post in 2019. And
That's
I bet she
hilarious
actually
and
did
awesome.
them herself. What do you think?
Mm-hmm. I think so. I think she did.
Does anybody know her hobbies? We're going to save that one.
Okay.
I want to see if anybody in chat's listening and has been watching any of the coverage. And I have 1, 2, 3 hobbies I'm looking for. Queen Elizabeth became a homeowner at just 6 years. Okay, that's not. I don't count that one. Cute picture. In her lifetime, Queen Elizabeth sent around 50,000 Christmas cards. Oh, I like that.
That's a lot.
And when I think of this, when they say that she sent these and that she wrote an email and did a post, I'm totally in my head. I think she did it herself, like not like other famous people,
Mm-hmm.
where they'd be like, oh, they have people doing it. I imagine she's pretty hands on. She's like, no, I'll do that.
Yeah.
I could see her
I'd
sending
like to
Christmas
think so
cards.
also.
Because if not, that number would be, I would think, higher. Like if it
Yeah.
was just on official
Yeah.
stationery.
Like a million.
Yeah. She owned an elephant, 2 giant turtles, a jaguar, and a pair of sloths.
Whoa.
They all
Presents
lived
from
in,
other
in London.
countries.
So that's a little different than owning them. I don't count that, right? If they're just a gift and then they went straight to the zoo, it's like, oh yeah, that's my thingy-majig. But it'd be different. It'd be different if like the elephant was roaming around like the Abbey or something, right?
That would be hilarious. You're like, The jaguar got out again.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh, it would, because she was a smaller lady, I'd definitely see her as prey.
Yeah.
Oh man,
No
but
issues
that's what would make it
Termite.
extra cool if it was like her pet, and she's like her and Mike Tyson and hang out with their wild cats.
Right? And it'd be like this picture, and then next to her is just the the jaguar.
Nope. Made her first radio broadcast in October 1940 during the Second World War.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Well, I didn't see it. I saw a thing about that, and it was her and her sister, or she had her sister with her, Margaret, and they told the kids. They sent the kids some well wishes. It was pretty sweet.
That is pretty cool.
Mhm.
On a recent, she even goes undercover sometimes. On a recent low-key trip to Scotland, she met some American tourists while walking. When the tourists asked if she lived locally, she mentioned that she had a house nearby. And when asked if she'd ever met the Queen, she simply pointed at her security guard and said, "No, but he has." That is epic to hear that. Like,
That's hilarious. Yeah.
to have her, like, if she made that little joke, no, that guy has though.
Mhm.
And he probably just chuckled. He's like, you don't even know who you're talking to.
Yeah,
So
that's
pretty
awesome.
cool.
I
All
like
right.
that. I like that story a lot. That was super sweet.
Nobody talked about what her hobbies were, so we will tell you. They were horse riding, pigeon racing, and football. Oh, there we
Aw.
go. We got gardening and horse riding. Yep, there you go. You got
Yep.
one. Woo woo. And football being
job.
soccer, of course.
Uh-huh.
Good job, Patricia. All right, next up, we got. I gotta go back to the top of mine. I'll flip pictures. How the Queen embraced technology through her reign. When it comes to technology, Queen Elizabeth II made it a point advocating for innovation throughout her reign. From sending an email way back in 1976 to posting tweets and Instagram photos in the late 20s and 2010s. It's hard to say that, but she embraced digital media. Even before she was queen, she used a radio to address to comfort children around the world during wartime. Which you just told us that.
Yeah, it was nice. Oh yeah, there's a picture.
Yep, we got that picture, I think. There we go.
Yep, that's her and her sister.
Yeah. And that's actually like took time to do that, and it's pretty cool. A Princess Elizabeth, by the way, at that point. In her younger days, she promoted technology like email, staying savvy, long into her old age, even if she sometimes needed a little help from her grandchildren. Harry, Harry, get over here. And that would be the best. Like she would have like the best technology people around at the castle, right? And she's like, go get my grandson. He needs to help me with this.
Yep.
They're like, ma'am, or queen, because they wouldn't say ma'am. They'd be like, queen, or your majesty, right? It's your majesty.
Yeah,
Your
probably.
majesty. We have Sam from IT. He can come do it. he's got like 50 degrees in IT.
Right.
He's like, does spy stuff. She's like, no.
No. Right.
No, I want the kids.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the best. All right, what else has she done? We got the radio one. Television, you probably know. Shoot. Oh, I got other pictures. I got this one, yep. You probably know the Queen's 1953 coronation was a major TV event, driving a boom in sales of home sets. You might have not heard that it wasn't just filmed in color. It was also recorded using experimental 3D technology. A hologram of Queen Elizabeth during the coronation of the Gold State Coach during the Platinum Jubilee pageant in front of Buckingham Palace during the Platinum Jubilee celebrations. So they put a hologram. I'm way confused on this. Was it during the 1953 time they put a hologram up? Or was the Platinum Jubilee? Wasn't that just the other week? Like this summer or last year or whatever?
Maybe. I have no idea. Maybe the picture of her in the cart is a
From back
hologram.
then?
Yeah.
Because that cart looks pretty new. I don't know. It's interesting. And maybe that went over her. I don't know. The first email she sent was she was the first monarch to do it. In 1997, the Queen launched the royal family's first official website. That one, I'm sure. That's she's like, oh, here's our website. So it's pretty cool, but
She didn't build it herself.
Yeah, she didn't build it. If they said she coded any part of it, that would have instantly made it code like super cool. She's like, if they're like, she did a hello world and coded it herself to announce that this hello everyone, it's your majesty, that would be something pretty cool. And then I would have been like, then she launched it. Like she would have got credit for building the whole thing, even if she would only done that little bit. Video calling, she did some video calling to talk to some astronauts. Do I got anything there? Yep, that's pretty cool.
That is cool.
She posted videos to YouTube, Instagram. Do I have? Yeah, looks like I got a couple more. There she is. The Queen was thought to own a computer, but she apparently told that same guest she needed help from her grandchildren to use it properly.
That's so sweet. I like that.
Okay. Prince Andrew is thought to have given his mother a mobile phone in 2010. Cautious of the device's potential for harm, a 2016 garden party guest said that the Queen didn't like her grandchildren spending too much time on their phones. But that's a fair.
A typical grandma.
Yeah.
She's just a grandma.
There's an MP3 player that she may have carried around. The Queen added a tablet full of recorded memories of the last 60 years to the collection, to the royal collection to mark her Diamond Jubilee. Yes, okay, so that other one was a platinum. I think that would have been after the diamond, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So then that's in 2012, featuring stories, okay, trains, planes, cars. She drove an ambulance at one point.
Good for her.
Let's get her a little driving picture. Cool. Oh, she took a...
Looks like she could barely see over the... looks like she could barely see over the steering wheel. That's awesome.
All right. We got 18 record-breaking, controversial, and weird facts about the Queen. We are going to go fast to get our stuff finished.
Yep. Let's do it.
At the time of her death, at the time of her death, at least 9 out of 10 every human living has never known a British monarch other than Queen Elizabeth. She was queen for almost 30% of U.S. history. That's kind of crazy.
That's crazy.
Better made pals with her.
Mm-hmm.
Her rule span, yeah, we know that one. She traveled over 1 million miles. She ruled so long that Charles is the longest serving heir apparent in British history. Crown jewels include the largest diamond ever found, weighing in at 3,100 carats before it was cut into 9 separate diamonds. The largest of those gems inside the sovereign scepters with cross. I thought that this is, Yeah. There's like, it's controversial, that one.
Mhm.
Some people from Africa, I was seeing now they want it returned to them now that she's passed. At the age of 19, she was the first female British royal to serve as an active duty military member.
I like that she worked on military vehicles. I think that's cool. I did see a picture in some of the documentaries that I watched where she was like looking in the, working on the engine. Oh yeah. I just think that's so cool. Like, yep, I'm getting it. I'm getting in there, getting dirty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally think that's super cool. She stood scrumptiously apart from British governmental affairs, but she wasn't above making a subtle political point. So she kind of stayed out of the news in that way, I guess.
Mm.
Um, they've been preparing for her death since the 1960s. Makes sense, but
Yeah.
a little morbid. Because you would
Yeah, well,
have
I
to
guess
eat.
you would have to have it all
Mm,
in
yeah,
order.
yeah. Let's see, we got a couple other pictures from that article. There she is in her beautiful wedding dress. Oh, there's her buddy.
Her husband.
Yep, I like it.
Her buddy.
Yeah, there she is. Let's see, were these from this one? I don't think they were. No. All right. Then we have. Oops. Whoa. Oh, way down. I think that was her. All right. She didn't have a driver's license. She used rationing coupons to buy her wedding dress.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool. I had no idea.
Cabbage was her pet name.
I'd hate to know how she got that name.
Because she looks like a Cabbage Patch Kid.
Oh,
So that's what her husband called her,
I thought she
Cabbage.
was just
That she
gassy.
liked cabbage, maybe? Oops. I don't want to click that. She carried ironed money. So her money was always super nice.
Oh, I was like, it was like had iron in it. That's awesome.
She started her day with bagpipes playing.
Oh man, you think a an alarm going off is annoying?
She liked
Kidding.
cocktails and champagne even in the morning.
That's awesome. Good for her. How could you imagine making it into your 90s having cocktails for breakfast? Yowza. Have that's that's that just seems rough. A rough way to start every day.
She wanted a speaking role with Bond. She wanted to be in James Bond.
Oh, really?
Hmm. And it looks like she was.
Well, yeah, I mean, can you really say no?
She was ruler of mute swans, whales, and dolphins.
Weird.
I was just trying to figure out where that came from. She tricked people with her hats. What? With Elizabeth's punished for viability, can't solely be rooted. So she needs to stand out for people. They saw a bit of the Queen's hat as she went past. However, according to Royal Drescher, she didn't want chatty Cathy's in and around Buckingham Palace to know what color outfit or accessory she planned to wear to an important event. Thus, she planted an array of decoy hats throughout her estate. She didn't want people to know what she was going to wear, so they would
That's
match
hilarious.
her. Oh,
So
that's
she
the
just wear
best.
like random hats.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Was that this? Oh, this is the picture. Um, she was better traveled than any British monarch before her. The Queen owned a Greg's pastry shop. The Queen had her own private ATM. The Queen volunteered as a truck driver during World War II. The Queen bought her wedding. Did I just talk about this?
Yep,
No.
we talked about it in
They just doubling up. The Queen washed her own dishes. We talked about that. She sat for over 200 official portraits.
Wow, that's a lot.
There we go.
And just think of like all the years that she just had to be like the center of attention and not being able to get away with it or, get away from it. Um,
Yeah, that would be tough. Long time. Queen bathed every morning in 7 inches of water.
Hmm.
She carried out tens of thousands of engagements, sent a message to the moon, spoke fluent French, opened the Sydney Opera House. Pretty cool.
Very cool.
And we got a few
Good job,
more.
Queen.
27. Let's see if any of them are new. Never went to school.
Yeah, but they had tutors. So.
She and her sister once partied incognito in the streets.
Good for them.
Her tiara snapped on her wedding day. She celebrated her birthday twice a year. We talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we talked about that. Talked about that. She owned a bunch of corgis. Owned all the swag. Yeah, wow. We pretty much covered them all. Made at least, a bunch of travel. Was rich. The ATM. Didn't have to pay.
Oh.
She didn't have to pay taxes, but she did anyways. That's cool.
Yeah.
Sent the message to the moon. Portrayed as a character in roughly 100 TV shows. Wore the same nail polish since 1989. And it's super cheap.
Oh,
Doesn't have a
$7.
passport either. She's like, what? She used her uses her purse to send secret signals to her staff. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd have to. Like, get me out of here.
She could imitate the sound of a Concorde jet landing.
Good for her.
She didn't use the last name.
Oh no. I watched thing about that. It was a big issue. They ended up doing it, I think, when her third child was born. They changed it to be because it was her grandfather changed their last name to Windsor during World War II because they had a German last name. They're German. And then her husband wanted her and her kids to have his last name. And she decided that that wasn't going to happen, that they were going to stay Windsor. And then when their third child was born, Prince Philip made a big deal about it again. And so they decided to do it hyphenated with Windsor. It was his name and then hyphen Windsor.
Hmm.
Yeah.
She paid a poet. She has a poet who was paid in alcohol. She couldn't be prosecuted or compelled to give evidence in court. She once bought an apartment in New York. She signed her letters and statements with the name Elizabeth R. She had her own Barbie doll. And then let's see. She celebrated after the war with partying in the streets with her subjects. I think that's going to be about it. You got anything else to add?
I don't know. I guess I watched a lot of stuff about her in the last couple days or this last week. It was pretty interesting. She was 25 when she became queen. And I don't know. Their family's gone through a lot. I haven't decided. I mean, I find it very interesting, um, and sad, and I don't know. It seems like a lot has changed. Um, her uncle was king, and then he decided he wanted to marry a divorcee. So then that's how her dad became king. And now King Charles, her son is king, and both him and Camilla are both divorced and married, and now he's king. So I mean, just to see uh, how much has changed in the last 70 years. I don't know. It's interesting. A lot has happened mm, in her time, to allow something like that to happen.
She
That's my takeaway.
survived an assassination attempt. Did they talk about that?
No, I hadn't heard. I didn't hear about that.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
1981, and she led a royal procession on horseback. A 17-year-old who was obsessed with assassinations of figures fired a series of blanks towards her.
Oh,
Wow.
thankfully they were blanks.
Yeah. She survived an intruder coming into her bedroom.
Really?
She had her own special money to give to the elderly. Gin was her drink of choice. So, interesting. Yeah.
Very interesting. Well,
All
this was
right.
fun.
Yes, that was. We'll have a link to all these articles up on our page, and you can read more about the Queen. Anything we may have missed, you can let us know, and we can talk about it during our next episode.
Yep.
Next week, we will be doing. Oh, I got to put us down into the other position. There we go.
Oh, DB liked our show. Thank you. I enjoyed it too.
Next week, we will be covering the seasons. So we will have the seasons of change.
All right.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We'll talk to you next week.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.